Introduction. Welcome to this session on specialized functions. Learning objectives. By the end of this module, you will be able to describe date and time functions, describe concatenate financial functions, create a data table, configure solver. Scenario-based analysis, date and time functions. The date function in Excel displays the sequential serial numbers that represent a specific date. Syntax, date, year, month, day. The date function is more effective when the year, month, and day are used with formulas. This function allows Excel to recognize the date format that is entered into the cell. Let us discuss some specialized functions of Excel in this topic. First, let us see the date function. To insert a date, for example, 6/24/2011, click the cell in a worksheet in which you want to insert the date function. Click the Insert Function button. An Insert Function dialog box will appear on the screen. Select All from the Or Select a Category drop-down list. Select Date in the Select a Function category and click the OK button. Now, a Function Arguments window will appear. In the Year text box, type the number 2011. In the Month text box, type the number 6. In the Day text box, type the number 24. Click on the OK button. Now, Excel will insert the date 6/24/2011 into a cell. EDate Function. The EDate function in Excel displays a date that is a specified number of months before after the start date. Syntax, EDate, start_date, months. For example, a customer named Richard has a specific plan that was initiated on 9/30/2014, which is going to end after 10 months. Let us use the EDate function to find the plan end date. Click the cell in a worksheet in which you want to insert the EDate function. Open the Function Arguments window for the EDate function. In the Start_date text box, in cell number D9, type the start date 9/30/2014. In the Months text box, type the number 10, the number of months to be added from the start date. Click on the OK button. Now, Excel will display the result of plan end date in a specified cell. EO Month function. The EO Month function is similar to the EDate function, but in Excel, this displays the very last day of the month, that is a number of months before after the start date. Syntax, EO month, start_date, months. Now we will see the time function. The Excel time function allows you to add a number of hours, minutes, and seconds into the specified cell. This function is very useful when the hours, minutes, and seconds are further used with formulas. Syntax, time, hour, minute, second. In this example, we are going to insert 4:58:44, that is, hour, minute, second, into a cell. To achieve this, open a Function Arguments window for the time function. In the Hour text box, type the number 4. In the Minute text box, type the number 58. In the Second text box, type the number 44. Click on the OK button. Now, Excel will display the time 4:58:44 a.m. in the specified cell. Text functions. The text function allows you to convert an integer value to text or a string. This function helps to display numerical values in a more comprehensible format. Syntax, text, value, format underscore text. Now we are going to convert the date 10/16/2009 integer value to text. To do so, open a function arguments window for text function. In the value text box, type the cell name B4 that you want to convert to text format. In the format underscore text text box, type the required format DDDD, MMMM, DD, YYYY. After you have typed the format details in the text boxes, click on the OK button. Now Excel will display the result in the specified cell. Proper function. The proper function in Excel converts all first letters in each word to title case and the remaining letters to lowercase. The name Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart will be converted to Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart by using the proper function in Excel. Concatenate financial functions PMT FV. Payment PMT. The payment PMT is a financial Excel function that is used to evaluate the payment amount for a loan depending on rate of interest and constant payments. Syntax PMT, rate, NPER, PV, FV, type. In this example, we are going to calculate the monthly payment for a housing loan of Rs 84,000 for 6 years at 10% interest rate. To achieve this, open a function arguments window for the PMT function. In the rate text box, type E6/12, which is the price amount of Rs 84,000 divided by 12 months. Here, E6 represents the cell number. In the NPER text box, type 6*12, which is 6 years multiplied by 12 months. In the PV text box, type D6 cell number, which represents the price amount of Rs 84,000. In the FV text box, NA for this calculation future value, FV is omitted. Hence, the default value is 0 here. In the type text box, NA for this calculation type is omitted because payments were made at end of the period. Hence, the default value is 0 here. Click on the OK button. Now Excel will display the result in the specified cell. Future value, FV. The future value, FV function in Excel returns an investment depending on periodic and constant payments and a constant rate of interest. Syntax, FV, rate, NPER, PMT, PV, type. Named ranges. Named ranges in Excel help you to make formulas easier to understand. You can use a name to describe a cell, range, function, table, or constant. An example for named ranges is shown here. To define a name, select the range in the selling price column to add a name. Click the Formulas menu and move to the Define Names group. Click the Define Name button. A new name dialog box will appear on your screen. In the Name text box, type selling_price. Click the OK button. Now select the range to add a name for the cost price column and open a new name dialog box. In the Name text box, type cost_price. Click the OK button. Select cell F5 to enter the formula for gain. Gain equals selling price minus cost price. In the function box, type equals D5 minus E5 and click the Enter button to display the answer in cell F5. To apply a new name to the formula, select cell F5 and go on to the Define Names group. Click the Define Name drop-down list and select Apply Names. The Apply Names dialog box will appear on your screen. Select both selling_price and cost_price in the list, and then click OK. Now Excel will display the named formula for cell F5. Just copy and paste cell F5 to all the cells in which you want to display the result. Creating a data table. A data table is a special range that Excel uses to calculate multiple solutions to a formula. If you are interested in studying the effects that a range of values has on a formula, you can set up a data table. Excel automatically creates a solution for the formula for each different input value. To create a data table, type the input values. Select the range that includes the input values and formula. Click the Data tab. Click What If Analysis and select Data Table. This will open the Data Table dialog box. Specify the formula cell you want to use for data input. If the input values are entered in the column, insert the input cell's address in the Column Input Cell text box. If you enter the input values in the row, insert the input cell's address in the Row Input Cell text box. Finally, click OK. Excel will display the result. In the upcoming module, there will be a detailed discussion about scenarios and goal seeking. Introduction to Scenarios. A scenario is a set of values that Microsoft Excel saves and which can be substituted automatically in your worksheet. You can use scenarios to predict the outcome of different situations, like best and worst case scenarios in your spreadsheet. Creating a new scenario. You can create a scenario for any worksheet. Start by identifying entire cells specific to your scenario. In this example, the scenario-specific cell contains the exchange rate. The following example uses the basics for showing how the scenario tool works. Select the cell that would change in your scenario. Choose the Data tab and move your pointer to the Data Tools group. In that, click on What If Analysis. From the drop-down list, in Selection List, select Scenario Manager. The Scenario Manager dialog box will appear. Click the Add button to create a new scenario. The Add Scenario dialog box will look like this. Enter the descriptive name for the scenario you are creating. If you plan to create a scenario that explores what would happen if the US dollar rises against the euro, you need to change the cell references used for the scenario. Move to the Changing Cells text box. Click OK. This action will close the Add Scenario dialog box and open the Scenario Values dialog box. Set the values of all the changing cells according to your scenario. Click OK. This action will return you to the Scenario Manager dialog box, which will now show your newly created scenario in the list. If you want to create more than one scenario at a time, you can repeat the above steps for each new scenario. There is no limit to the number of different scenarios you can create. Managing scenarios. Once you have created your scenarios, you would probably want to put them to work to compare different possible cases. You can switch from one scenario to another using the buttons in the Scenario Manager dialog box. Another task you can perform in the Scenario Manager is to switch from one scenario to another. Select the scenario you want to view in the list and then click Show. Excel will immediately update the changed cells. To change the scenario assumptions, select them and then click Edit. The Edit Scenarios dialog box that appears is identical to the Add Scenarios dialog box. It allows you to change the name modified in the changing cells and edit the description. Click OK to move ahead and adjust the actual values for the changing cells. To remove the scenario completely, select it in the list and then click Delete. To return to your Excel worksheet, click Close at any time. The values from the scenario that you had applied from the previous time will remain in effect. Using Goal Seek. Goal Seek is used to get a particular result when you're not too sure of the starting value. For example, if the answer is 56 and the first number is 8, what is the second number? Is it 8 multiplied by 7 or 8 multiplied by 6? You can use Goal Seek to find out. We will now try with a goal-seeking option. Consider this spreadsheet in which we know that we want to multiply the number in cell B1 by the number in cell B2. The number in cell B2 is the one we are not sure of. The answer is going to be seen in cell B3. Our answer is wrong at the moment because we have given the goal as 56. To use Goal Seek to get the answer, try the following steps. From the Excel ribbon, click on Data. Locate the Data Tools panel and the What If Analysis item. From the What If Analysis menu, select Goal Seek. The first thing Excel is looking for is Set Cell, which is the cell that contains the formula that you want to use. For us, this is cell B3. We have the formula B3 equals B1 multiplied by B2. So enter B3 into the Set Cell box if it is not already in there. The To Value box contains the answer that you are looking for. For us, this is 56. So just type 56 into the To Value box. The By Changing Cell is the part you are not sure of. Excel would change this part. It was cell B2 for us. We want to show which number when multiplied by 8 gives the answer 56. So type B2 into the box. The Goal Seek dialog box should look like this. Click OK and Excel will tell you if it has found a solution. Click OK again because Excel has found the answer. Your new spreadsheet will look like this one. Solver. Solver is an Excel feature that goes several steps farther than goal seeking. It uses the same basic trial and error approach, but it's dramatically more intelligent than goal seeking. Defining a problem in Solver. To learn how Solver works, take a look at the student grade example here. This time, consider what would happen when you add the name of a new student, Susan. This student missed the first test and as a result will receive a score of 0 on it. She wants to know what grade she must score in the second test and assignment to guarantee a final grade of 60. To create a solver model for this problem, follow these steps. If this is the first time you are using Solver, you need to switch it on. Choose the File tab and move your pointer to Options. In the Excel Options window, click the Add-ins category. This shows a list of all your currently active add-ins and those that are stored but not active. In the Manage box at the bottom of the window, choose Excel Add-ins and then click Go. The Add-ins window will appear, which lets you switch your add-ins on or off. Turn on the checkbox next to the Solver add-in and then click OK. Once you have stored the add-ins and switched them on, you will find an additional entry in the Data tab of the ribbon. Launch a solver by choosing the Data tab and move your pointer to the Analysis group. In that, click on Solver. The Solver Parameters dialog box will appear. In the Set Objective text box, enter the cell you want Solver to optimize. In this student grade example, this is cell E10, which contains Susan's final grade. Choose the type of optimization you want by selecting one of 2 options. If you choose to match the set value, enter it in the Value Of text box. In the student grade example, Susan is trying to pass straight to the 60% grade, so the target is 0.60. In the By Changing Cells text box, enter the cell reference that Excel modified to achieve the target. You can enter the cell references manually, or you can click your worksheet to select the appropriate cells. In the student grade example, the changing cells are C10 and D10. Click Solve to put the solver to work. When Solver finishes its work, Solver Results dialog box will indicate whether it has found a solution, and if so, what that solution is. Click the Keep Solver Solution box to retain the changed values. To undo Solver's work, go to the previous version, then click Restore Original Values. Finally, click OK to return to your workbook. Here is the solution that Solver found for Susan. Summary. Let us now summarize the key points of the session. The date function in Excel displays the sequential serial numbers that represent a specific date. Time function allows you to add a number of hours, minutes, and seconds into the specified cell. The text function allows you to convert an integer value to text or a string. The future value function returns an investment depending on periodic constant payments and a constant rate of interest. Named ranges help you to make formulas easier to understand. A data table is a special range that Excel uses to calculate multiple solutions to a formula. A scenario is a set of values that Microsoft Excel saves and can substitute automatically in your worksheet.